It's Dracula 2000. Sorry. Dracula 2000 is an American action horror film written and directed by Patrick Lussier. If that name sounds familiar, well then here's a list of some of his films. Wow, what an impressive pile of mediocrity. Dr. Ian, your thoughts?
That is one big pile of shit.
I concur.
This film stars Gerard Butler, Christopher Plummer.
I see someone had a summer home they needed to pay for. That's none of my business.
Johnny Lee Miller, Justine Waddell, Omar Epps, Vitamin C, Jerry Ryan, and Jennifer Esposito. Oh yes, I said Vitamin C, and thankfully this movie shows her boobs. Although I'm left wondering what exactly her reasoning for the brief nudity was.
Hooray! People are paying attention to me!
Released on December 22nd, 2000 by Miramax Film, it was pretty much panned by critics and audiences alike with the resounding,
"It stinks."
So the plot is as follows, and yes, there will be spoilers. Christopher Plummer plays Matthew Van Helsing, a descendant of Abraham Van Helsing, and is in no way, shape, or form the actual Abraham Van Helsing.
That would just be fucking silly, right? That'd be silly.
He owns an antique shop in London, which kind of looks like the modern-day equivalent of the Iron Bank of Bravos from Game of Thrones. What the hell is he holding in there? Dinosaurs? Piano from Big? Dracula? So Van Helsing's sexy secretary, Eva Longo, oh shit, my bad. I mean Jennifer Esposito, allows a group of thieves played by a collection of 2000's I Almost Made It Big in Hollywood into the shop's underground vault, where they find a shit ton of artifacts, human skulls galore, tons of crosses, and a sealed silver coffin, protected by a deadly defense system.
I really like the whole, it puts the lotion on its back, it does this when it's told decor. It really draws the room together.
Since the priceless artifacts just littering the fucking floor has absolutely no appeal to them, they decide to steal the coffin. Why, you may ask?
Skulls are to scare us. The crosses, the coffin, all of it. It's a grand spanking mind fuck to scare off thieves. If you make a killing, why hide it in a safe?
When you can hide it in a coffin.
Yeah, flawless reasoning. I buy it.
So the supervillain League of Mediocrity runs off to New Orleans with the coffin, but not before that guy who was in that one thing that one time gets gutted like a fish. He who is not Abraham Van Helsing discovers the body of that one guy from that one thing that one time, and that the coffin has been stolen. This causes him to freak out, act super shady, and board a plane to America, all the while telling his apprentice, Johnny Lee Miller, to remain in London.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. At all.
Meanwhile, on the plane, the coffin is opened and Count Angus McDracula awakens. Jesus, just look at him. The name says Transylvanian. The voice says, I am the Highlander. And the hair says, Achy Breaky Heart Video.
Seriously, if I had a vagina right now, my panties would be soaked. Like, sploosh.
So Dracula does what a Dracula does, which is steal your girl, rip your throat out, call upon the powers of nature to create a poorly rendered superstorm visual effect.
Wait. Can Dracula do that? Can Draculas do that? Is that a thing? Like, an actual thing?
He crashes the plane in the swamps, feeds on 7 of 9, and travels to New Orleans. Jesus, he is an industrious Lord of Darkness. No idle hands here. Enter Justine Waddell and Vitamin C in the movie. Justine is a troubled Virgin Megastore employee.
Anyone else remember those? Anyone? No? Good times. Right before Napster. You fucked it up, Sean. You fucked it all up!
She is roommates with Vitamin C and is having strange visions of a certain Scottish Lord of Darkness.
Hubba. I mean, who the fuck could blame her? Seriously. Wow.
Plummer and Miller arrive in New Orleans, destroy the plane of newly turned vampires, and Plummer reveals that he is in fact the original Abraham Van Helsing.
What? No!
Since he hasn't found a way to destroy Dracula permanently, Plummer hid his body and prolonged his own life with Train-Spotting Styles injections of leech-diluted Dracula blood, which for some reason that was lost during script rewrites, no explanation is given as to why Plummer isn't a fucking Dracula at this point, and why Dracula is suddenly a werewolf in this movie, because he is now apparently vulnerable to silver.
This is real. This is an actual thing. This is happening. Someone got paid. Someone got paid to write this. Someone got paid money to write this shit? Fuck, I'm in the wrong business.
Plummer tells Miller and the audience that Justine is his daughter. Since Justine was born after he began shooting up Bloodsmack, she shares a telepathic/blood link with Dracula. And now Plummer and Miller are trying to find Justine before Dracula does, because Plummer knows that Dracula knows that Justine exists and that she's in New Orleans.
Good lord, I need a flowchart just to keep up with this shit.
Meanwhile, Dracula has sex with Vitamin C.
Boobies! Yay!
And turns her into a vampire.
Oh, shit. That's no good.
Angus kills Plummer, Miller and Justine escape, but it's all for nothing as she's quickly captured and the plot continues. You know what? I'm just gonna flash forward to the end. Angus reveals that he is in fact Judas Iscariot. What? What? What?
What M. Night Shyamalama ding-dong bullshit am I watching right now?
This kind of explains why the movie made a big deal out of Dracula hating Christianity and that whole silver thing, actually.
Because, you know, he betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of... You know what? It's not important. Just go with it. It's fucking stupid. Stupid as hell.
Dracula McCloud's side bitches appear with Miller. Dracula tells Justine to bite him. Justine pulls a switcheroo and fake bites him. She and Miller kill the three side bitches. Dracula is pissed, and rightfully so. I mean, just look at the ass on 7 of 9 there. I'd let her assimilate me with no futile resistance.
See what I did there? Star Trek pun. I'm so lonely.
Dracula and Justine fight like they were suddenly transported to the Matrix universe.
So, physics. Physics, eh? Physics. 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 Physics, 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 physics.
Suddenly, a wild cable noose appears, and Dracula gets hung off a giant-ass neon crucifix when they fall off the roof. Angus hangs, but Justine falls at least 10 stories and hits the pavement, liquefying every internal organ and shattering her spine upon impact. But don't worry, Judas Iscariot lifts the vampire curse from Justine.
Hold on. Is this something like Draculas do regularly? Like, they change their significant other, and then halfway through the eternity, they realize, this was a really piss-poor idea. And they're like, hey, poof, you're not a vampire anymore. Also, we're breaking up.
So Dracula burns, Justine survives, takes over the family business, and vows to watch over Dracula's ashes, should he ever rise again. Ambiguous ending, leaving the possibility for a sequel open, roll credits, and cue the Linkin Park song.
I fucking love that song. I don't care who knows. Fucking love it.
So there you have it, Dracula 2000, a movie that somehow manages to insult the work of Bram Stoker, lower the acting credibility of Christopher Plummer, and piss all over religion while having one of the new metaliest soundtracks of all time. I'm fairly confident someone sold their soul to the devil to get this movie made, and I think, after watching it again, that individual may have legal precedence to have it returned.
I'm Joel from Fuelneve Reviews, and this is gonna need something stronger in it now. Like fucking moonshine.